I'm Naayl, a ULIP intern from XLRI Jamshedpur. I'm currently doing my HR internship and I'm in my 7th week of the internship at Unilever. And in week 1 I was very apprehensive. In fact, on day 1 I was really worried about what my internship would look like.
Hello, I am Rohit and I am part of XLRI HRM program. I was selected as part of HUL Changemakers 2021.
I thought a conventional HR internship would just be about working at my desk, but it's been a lot more than that. I've spoken to around 70 plus people across the company. I've also been able to go to a detergents factory at Silvasa, which is Unilever's top factory in the region. I've also been able to go for market visits across Mumbai and see how shops do their various business transactions with Unilever.
I was one of the lucky interns to get an opportunity to work internationally with the London Global Learning team. So my first week was really interesting. We all were figuring out how the visa is going to be, what the project is going to be, what the timelines would look like, and how are we going to manage the stakeholders in both the countries.
So my journey with Unilever didn't just start with my day 1 at the Mumbai head office. It really started with the point in time when the project email first hit my email ID. To say the least, I was very intimidated and very worried when I saw this project brief, because it was this large 2-page document and I had no clue of what to do with it. I reached out to a couple of seniors from XLRI itself, and I also reached out to a couple of people who were mapped to me within HUL as a buddy. And after I spoke to them, that helped assuage my feelings a lot more. Day 1 at Unilever itself was a lot of fun because the employer branding team had a lot planned for us. What that did help with was that it helped bond with the cohort of 78 interns.
We identified 2 really amazing and challenging roles. One was around the sales HR team and the second one was around the global learning team in London.
What really helped through this project timeline was the fact that we actually planned out what our various weeks would look like. We say a certain week would be about talking to say 7 to 8 people a day. Another week would be about a market visit. Another week would be about a factory visit. And once you really structure the problem and you figure out what it is that you're doing, that really helps you come to this point at the 7th week where you're feeling a lot better about your project.
So to accommodate 2 different projects with 2 different teams and different geographies in a span of 8 weeks, we identified that we're going to start with the Mumbai project, which is to partner with the sales business partnering team and work on creating a talent pipeline for future sales leaders coming from diverse institutions and backgrounds. Now, having that in the mind, we thought of different areas such as where are these opportunities, where is the talent pool that we're going to have people from, how is the career trajectory going to look like, what are the opportunities that we're going to offer in terms of roles and in terms of careers, and how are we going to design a comprehensive program around the same.
So now that I've run you through the timeline of my project, I'd like to tell you what my project exactly was. And while doing so, I'd like to take you to a very interesting place. Let's go. So a key part of my internship project was figuring out what would happen for someone who joins the company as a mid-career recruit. Now, as part of this, there were certain interventions that I had to design, which involved factory visits and market visits. So I was able to look at the actual manufacturing line of Surf Excel powders, as well as various other bars which HUL manufactures. At the same time, I was also able to go through the journey that a salesperson goes through by shadowing him for a day, by following a salesperson through the market, having tea and lunch with them exactly as they would do in their regular day. And this really helped me get a good exposure to the way brands are built and sold at HUL.
So while working with the Mumbai team, I also got to know about my project in London. And honestly, it was something that I haven't heard of. So we had to design a train the trainer program, wherein we had to train our facilitators and ensure that they're able to equip the factory leadership and tell them their role in our continuous pursuit towards technology and data transformation.
The key issues I had through this process were being able to find time with people. I've had an average target of being able to speak to around 7 to 8 people on a daily basis, and being able to get half an hour with each person can be a struggle initially. The one thing you realize at HUL is that you need to find that time with people, and I feel like something which I struggled with in maybe the first or the second week was able to sort out in the latter weeks. Firstly, because I became a little shameless, I was able to follow up a lot more with people. And secondly, I used to have these candid conversations with my mentor, and he would really help me think this through and help me figure out how I should approach these people. So you normally come back from the field with a lot of data, a lot of observations, a lot going on in your mind, and this can be a tsunami of thoughts. And at those particular moments, I needed a place where I could sit, absorb all of this, take a bit of time off, refresh and get back to the problem. And I'd love to be able to show you a couple of places across the Unilever campus which really helped with doing so. So Adda near the waterfall is one of the key places which stands out for me. I personally find the waterfall which keeps running through the day very calming, and it's a great place to just sit, work, crunch data, as well as maybe attend to a couple of calls. A lot of my project deliverables have actually been worked at Adda, and it's been a great spot for me. When it comes to my particular project, there's been a lot of data crunching, a lot of work percentages wise, a lot of phone calls, including a recent exercise I had to do with contacting 94 people to figure out their handovers. So a lot of this work has happened at various such spots across the HUL campus.
As a part of the program and as a part of the internship schedule, I was supposed to interview a lot of global learning leaders, factory heads, factory teams, and that too from across geographies. I interviewed Turkey team and teams from Ireland, Australia, etc. And what I got was some really meaningful but hidden insights. We were able to identify some of the really crucial agendas in the supply chain that weren't really talked about but were really important. That helped us develop a comprehensive and evaluative training program that was towards building technology within our supply chain.
So I'm looking forward to the final leg of my project where I'll be working on the final deliverables as well as speaking to 7 to 8 people a day, going back to the regular crunch of the initial days. But what I'm really looking forward to is being able to close these various deliverables before the final date, and I feel like it's going to be a lot of fun. So I've had a great time over this internship. I never thought that it would be so expansive in both my learnings and the amount of fun I've had, all of that. There's a key tenet about large responsibilities which are given to people at an early stage and their managers back them up. This seems to be a very core thing to the HUL way of working, which is something I have not necessarily observed earlier, and I found it as something that I would take back from this internship.
In order to continue the pace that we have made and the strides that we have made in the project, my plans for the final reviews would be to ensure that I continue to deliver and we continue to deliver the impact that we have made so far by streamlining our project with a larger umbrella of objectives that we have and creating crisp actionables for both the projects that I have undertaken.
One word for my internship would be a roller coaster. So the reason I say this is because it's had its highs, it's had its lows, but to sum it up, it's a great memory.